On one side of the street, these businesses are entirely in the dark. But just across the way here, they have power. Police actually shoved their truck into the garage door back here, knocking that door down, pulling up to the gas pump and filling up your tank. That could soon be a thing of the past. And you can just see they are completely destroyed. Take a look over here. A lot of smoke still billowing up. Berry Creek is dealing with so much loss. Homes are flattened. Cars burned so badly they look like skeletons of what they once were. This water gets pretty steep. It's halfway up my boots and at least a foot off the ground. The rush out here is real, with thousands of people expected to be in and out of the mall today. Investigators are working to actually tow away that burned out car just behind me here. You can see them loading it up. Parents are now having to figure out how to juggle their own work with now caring for their kids all at the same time. These firefighters are dealing with a lot of smoke. Just take a look out over Lake Oroville here, where you can barely see these boats in the distance. The kind of heartache that this family is going through right now is really hard to even grasp, and some of that is on clear display out here at this growing memorial. And we're also seeing a lot of areas still burning, like over here, these hot spots. Airbnb's CEO took to Twitter to explain how the company hopes to crack down on these party houses. She was rushed here by ambulance just after the DA's announcement. It's a drive the Ritzas used to make daily.
What's going to be left?
But they've never seen Pence Road like this.
I mean, we know we don't have a home, but just to see it makes it that much more real.
Their first time back in paradise since the campfire raged through, destroying thousands of buildings, including their 2 family homes.
That's our wall.
You know, just seeing it makes so much worse.
Now digging through the rubble.
How deep does this even go?
In hopes of finding any glimpse of their old life.
It's so depressing. It's like you want to dig for your jewelry that was my grandmother's, and I don't even know if I'll ever find it.
Rhonda Ritza moved to Paradise 25 years ago to raise her 3 young daughters.
Actually, because my husband was killed in a motorcycle accident, I just wanted to raise them in a small place.
They grew up in this town, had kids of their own.
I mean, it's my home.
Dreams put on hold when the sky turned black and flames overtook their town.
Then my daughter, Skylar, she's like screaming and crying, "Let's go, Mom, we're gonna die." So we left.
Ashley Ritza loaded her mom and 11-year-old daughter into their cars the morning of the fire, calling her sisters frantically, telling them to evacuate.
And then I was unable to hear from them for hours.
No!
Trapped in traffic on Skyway.
Saw a young man pushing an 83-year-old in a wheelchair. I'm like, there's no way. I told my daughter, run to Grandma's car. And I took the elderly lady. I pretty much threw her in my car.
She drove through Paradise with flames all around her until she finally reached safety. The whole family made it out okay.
We're alive. We wake up every day and how's your day? Well, I'm alive.
Finding strength in the things that made it through the fire.
My dad gave us all a pen set, a pen and pencil, and it had his name engraved on it.
One of the few mementos left from their father who passed away, found in the ashes.
I think so. I think he's watching over us.
And while the Ritzas don't know what the future holds for their family, they do know they're in this together.
It gives us hope.
Welcome back.
Every wave and every honk. Car after car welcomes Jim Cass's home. A parade from a distance to honor the 78-year-old grandfather just out of the hospital after beating COVID-19.
Hey, Chris. Hey, Sarah.
Love you so much.
On life support for 10 days and no family. That's all I could think about is getting home and walking with them. Feels great.
Well, it's really good to hear you're better. I was really worried.
Cassis doesn't remember much from his 3 weeks at Sutter Medical Center, just the agonizing pain of his illness.
Ran out of energy, ran out of everything, and I dug deep in my stomach and there was nothing there to give. And then I remembered Deb, and I thought about the kids, and I felt the power of all the prayers of people behind me.
He kept fighting, and after that night, slowly but surely started to recover.
It was that one night I faced death, and I pulled through. And it wasn't me that did it. It was all my family and my friends pulling for me and praying for me.
On April 8th, doctors were able to take him off the ventilator, 2 years to the day after his wife Debbie had 2 cancerous tumors successfully removed.
I've got to think there's somebody up there watching. Somebody up there says that's a special date for us.
Okay, love you.
And while these friends and family members are here to celebrate Jim,
Hi, how you doing, sweetheart?
You know you've got the best family.
Oh, Dixie.
he says they're the ones he wants to thank.
I'll be riding next week, Dennis. When my bucket was empty, they were pouring stuff into it from their hearts. And I really believe that brought me through.
Eric, Nikki, police tell us that suspect barricaded himself inside of this very house here, and you can still see the aftermath of them trying to take him into custody here for several hours. This shattered glass litters his driveway. There's even a fence that was knocked over. And tonight, that suspect is in jail. But neighbors here who were targeted are worried he'll be back. Holding on to his baby girl a little tighter, Francisco Montoya is just grateful she's safe.
It was an ugly thing, an ugly feeling.
Speaking through a translator, Montoya explains that his daughter narrowly escaped injury Saturday night, after police say his neighbor drenched the 1-year-old in lighter fluid.
He says he doesn't have any kind of sense why he would do that. He doesn't even know the guy.
Montoya was in his backyard hosting a cookout when he saw some sort of fluid flying over his fence, into his yard, and onto his baby.
As the liquid was being thrown, they were right there barbecuing. Imagine it catches onto the grill. It could have been an explosion or some type of other thing.
Back patio light just came on by the French door.
So he called police, who tried to talk with the suspect, 34-year-old Rody Martinez.
He was uncooperative, and he actually barricaded himself inside the house.
Police say for almost 9 hours, Martinez stayed in the house until around 5 a.m., when officers deployed tear gas to get him out.
He fled from his residence on foot. We utilized a canine to take him into custody.
Martinez is now in the Sacramento County Jail, where he's charged with violation of probation, resisting arrest, endangering the life of a child, and assault with caustic chemicals. But he denies any wrongdoing. And the police are saying that you threw lighter fluid on a 1-year-old. Why did you lock yourself in the house then?
I didn't want to, because I had no purpose to be there.
Montoya is confident that authorities have the right man in jail. Now just hoping he stays there.
He says he wants peace and he doesn't want any problems with anybody.
We are learning that Martinez has an extensive criminal history. He was sentenced to 330 days in jail just last year for elder abuse. Neighbors here are just hoping this time he learns his lesson. Reporting live in North Sacramento tonight, I'm Jessica Mensch, Fox 40 News.